Good evening and welcome to Anders Nachtavak. Currently at Tallinn Healthcare College there is an international week and many curricula have foreign guests. This time we'll be focusing our episode towards development of nursing curriculum. What are the objectives, what are the experiences for development, and where does the input come from the development of the curriculum? Today's guests are Mirza Oruc, Associate Professor from Bosnia and Hercegovina at University of Zenica, Fatjona Kamberi, Associate Professor from Vlora University, Albania, and our very own Siiri Maasen, leading lecturer at Tallinn Healthcare College and leader of the internship module. I am the host of today's episode and my name is Cassar. So welcome everyone to the podcast and thank you for being here. And I would like to start with our first question for today about curricula and curricula development. For each curriculum, its quality comes down to its development. So what does the development of a curriculum mean to you?
Hello everyone, I'm Start. Okay, it's okay for you. To me personally, it's never ending. Yes, like never ending and always needed to update because our field in healthcare in movement and we never stop develop our curriculum. We can do it, never.
Yeah, of course. Hello, first of all, because this is my first thing. Hello to all the listeners, viewers, and everybody of this podcast. It's really interesting to be here. Like you said, Siiri, it's really interesting. It's a never-ending story because quality of development, curricula of life thing like in nursing, it's very important and it should be reviewed all the time. And the only thing to obtain the quality and to keep up with all the technology progress and professional progress, we really needed to develop it all the time. Yeah, of course.
Yes, hello everyone.
Because this is my first thing.
I'm very
hello
happy
to all
that
the
I
listeners,
have the
viewers, and everybody of this podcast. It's really interesting to be here. Like you said, Siiri, it's really interesting. It's a never-ending story because quality of development, curricula of life thing like in nursing is very important and it should be
this pandemic also emphasized the need to develop a new curriculum that are in frame of the new changes that are made in our society and in our lives by pandemic. Also, that will be reflected in the nursing education by integration into the nursing curriculum of topics in relation to infection control and prevention, including antibiotic resistance, coping strategy, elements of care. Also, it is important to introduce in nursing and to reframe the curriculum of nurses. I'm talking for countries in middle and income countries in their curriculum of nursing to introduce concepts that are related to innovation and nurses that are the most the big part of workforce in the health have to be updated with the innovation and integrate it into practice and to offer a better quality care for their patients.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, the COVID has been quite a challenge for us all. Did it bring any particular challenges when it comes to development of curricula? Did you have to go about it in a certain different way, or how did you find that this challenge of COVID?
It was a big challenge because everything go to web-based learning, teaching over the night. We hadn't experienced before, so it was new for students and also new from teachers and how it to do right. Yes, we don't have any experience before COVID. It's a strict structure. Yeah, we can see each other. That's it.
But I don't want to see from that point of view for the COVID. Not everything bad was in COVID. I think that COVID take us out of our comfort zone, where we really start to learning and growing in the different direction that was not questionable in the traditional way of education in nursing. Because all of us should review our curricula, what really we can do to do it online, what really we can do to use the Moodle, what we can do to use a different type of online platforms and everything. But also it provides changes in curricula, which was positive from my point of view, that we really emphasize what we can do in a contact way, face-to-face, what we can do on the online phase, what we can do using the platforms because all of our nursing students already have a lot of workload, too much workload, to relieve them of that stress that's bringing with your education. And I think that's something what we learned from the COVID, which was very, very good in the positive way, beside all these bad things that happened during the COVID. But this was that was a good direction toward the changes of curricula and the development of quality of curricula in the direction.
Yeah, especially consider is what generation students we actually have.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, I think that from my point of view, the nursing curricula should include more aspects of social perspective. Because the COVID-19 pandemic emphasized the social component of the nursing profession. And we have to see and to integrate this part in our curriculum and to give this part to be more stressed, and the other because the nursing discipline is more than just providing a care. It is a social value. And the social change has left its mark on history, and this pandemic also has changed our lives, and not only in the human perspective, but as well as professionals, as educators. So we have to integrate this aspect of social nursing and to improve this part. If countries such as countries part of European Union maybe have this part in their curriculum, but other countries have to emphasize this part. Also, I think that we have to make an integration and simulation education, as well virtual activities or blended activities should be part of our everyday learning and teaching, because simulation education help students as well teachers to control the human factor in our profession, in the profession of nursing. Because if the students feel safe in using their capacities and abilities during the simulation practice, they have the possibility after, as professionals, to act fast and safety for the better care of the patients. So I emphasize the need to introduce social aspects and innovative and simulation aspect in nursing curriculum. In this aspect, we have to reframe nursing curriculum and also to create a curriculum that is has a global perspective. Since the work market, the labor market is making more and more international. Also, people have the possibility to travel and to work in different countries rather than them countries. So they have to be updated and to fit well in different healthcare situations and backgrounds. So,
not only curriculum, our behavior and culture point in this point.
Yes.
We can
simulate,
right. As you said, social part. It's most important, maybe in some country.
Depending.
What do you mean?
Well, really, I agree and I disagree.
Yeah.
Really, because we go off the course of the questions, but we will come back, no problem. But I'm afraid for the future that we will lost really the technical aspect of nursing, which is quite important for the quality of the nursing care that should be provided within the hospitals, within the medical facilities, institution, and everything. Not everything can be solved with socialization and stuff. We can really do a lot. I'm fully agree that in every curricula, in every course should be involved the transcultural, intercultural, social aspect of nursing and social aspect of care, because if we exclude them, then we cannot have a holistic approach. So it's very hard to determine what is the more important. Should we develop just social care, or should we develop technical skills? So the quality of curriculum comes somewhere in between. When we mixed up those two, and when we come to find out the best, taking the best from both parts, and that our students can achieve the greatest learning outcomes and the biggest competencies in the field of the social aspect of the care of the patient, and the technical aspect of interventions and everything else, then we will have a very quality. I need to say that we are industry, we are giving a product. Product is our students who are going to the labor market, that we will have a very good product, and that's very valuable, great, skillful, trained nurses that can be placed into the field to work in the healthcare system worldwide. That's something what should we think about it.
Mm-hmm. And indeed, I think COVID was quite an opportunity in one aspect, but on the other hand, it was also a challenge. And I think we can all respect that fact. So in the member states of the EU, nursing studies they are being regulated by the common EU directive. However, each college still has maintained its own approach to the curricula. So what do you think about that? Is it a good thing or a bad thing, having EU directives while at the same time having each college, take its own approach with regards to curricular development?
Can I speak first?
Of course,
because
of course.
a few years ago I was running I was part of the great consortium, and we have a project with the main goal, which was implementing European directive in nursing education in the Western Balkan countries. They all involved Bosnia and Hercegovina, Montenegro, Albania. And it was really interesting because legislations in these countries wasn't prepared to implement European directive on aspect of everything. And when we do a lot of research in the European countries, how we come to the end, how I understand European directive. For me, European directive is a tool. It's a guideline. Mm-hmm. It's a guideline. You have something what you need to have. 2,300 practical work, 2,300 theoretical work, and you have obligatory courses separated in 3 areas. Then you can create the curricula, whatever you want. So you need really to be creative. You need to be in accordance with your legislations within the country and everything. So I think directive is a quite good thing because it provides all of us some guidance and some help as an instrument to achieve the best in our curricula, and then that we can increase the mobility of our students, because I remember I have students who came here in Tallinn just before the COVID. They spent their internship here, and it was really great. But that was achievable because upon we have the similar courses, we have similar number of the credits and everything, and that's what was a result of using the European directive. For us, I think it's a very good instrument, a tool that can be used for developing quality nursing program and developing good cooperation among the non-EU and EU partnership in the future. And again, of course, and European directives sometimes need to be reviewed and everything. There is also good and the bad things, but of course, I think it's very useful, and for me, it's very, 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 very positive thing.
Yeah, it's like two sides. It's like strict structure, and another way flexible. Yeah.
Yes, it's very.
Yes.
Yes, I totally agree that if you want to reshape or reframe or to develop the nursing curricula, we have to have guidelines, and after that to point our challenges. And the European Union standards for nursing and midwifery training programs for nurses consist of the parts that are part of theoretical instruction, nursing, basic sciences, social sciences, and clinical instruction. So we have to analyze all these parts of the European Union standards for nursing, and I think it's good that we have that. And if you make a connection between our research experience and the need analysis that we have made, especially after the pandemic, and taking the guidelines of European countries for the development of nursing profession and midwifery, it's a very good point and a very good start. So we have to have a guidelines and to work about it and improve them. So totally agree. Also, I have some disappointed with a colleague in relation to the social part and the technical part of the nursing profession. Before the pandemic, the nursing profession was more focused on its technical part. But the pandemic emphasized that we have a lot of gaps in the social part of nursing profession. And we have to find a balance between these two parts of nursing profession, especially in chronic care, and to develop self-management programs for people with chronic care and older people. Since the society is aging fastly worldwide, so it is rapidly, so it is very important to take the right balance on it. Also to have the right part in curriculum between theoretical part and the practical part of nursing profession. Is it true that nursing profession is more practical, but also we have to gain new knowledge. With the new knowledge, we improve our practice, and improving our practice, we improve also our knowledge. And this is a virtuous cycle.
I have to disagree because I didn't say that we need to exclude. I said exactly what you said, that we need to find a balance between. So that's what I was saying. You probably didn't understand. So why I'm saying, because I visited so many schools in the European Union and outside European Union, and just like a few months ago, I was visiting one very good nursing school, and for 3 years they are learning just the social skills. And then on the 4th year, they enter the hospital to practice the technical skills. Something is missing. Something is missing because there is no balance between that. And that's, we can really discuss, we can make a podcast just discussion about the importance of social skills or about the technical. I also said it's not just, we cannot emphasize one or the another, and we agree that we need to find the middle, that we have the best students who can get the best from the social and best from the technical, that we can achieve our goal.
In conclusion, we can say the EU directive like a rising star or guiding light.
Yeah, really, it's depending on how.
Yeah.
Our main goal for all of us is to have a good, great, big nurses, because it's a really major workforce in the global healthcare. So more than 1/3 of the global healthcare workers are nurses. So we really need to have very good and valuable nurses. And without the guidelines we have, then we will wondering on our own systems what we don't. So I think the directive is, like you said, rising star or the shining or the guiding light that can take us to our goal. But then you again, like he says, you have all freedom to achieve that on the best possible way based on your special technical and all other conditions you have to implement that directives. Nobody says you need to have this. No, it's really good.
And indeed, of course, taking into consideration the different cultures and the differences and variation in cultures within the European Union itself. So I think, things cannot be taken so strictly as such as, like EU directives. Okay, so the development of a curriculum does not necessarily mean changing it. What else can be done so that the curriculum could be innovative and modern? And what does a professor, what's the professor's role within this context?
We are coming back on the first. We are coming back on the first story. It's a never-ending story. Basically, it's not a job where you can. Okay, I finish my education, I finish everything, and I start working. So professors are really responsible, and they are carrying a huge burden in this process because they need to continuously follow up the achievements, improvements in the healthcare, in the profession, and everything. So in the end, the professor is really responsible, and they need really to follow up all the new knowledge that can be implemented into the curricula. Maybe, of course, we know the chronic diseases are pretty much the same for the last 20 years. And
maybe
they are pretty much, but approach to the treatment or approach to the new process is very important. And that's the good change of the curricula. You are not changing the curricula, you are teaching students about the same treatment, about same disease, about same technical procedure, but on a new aspect. That's where the responsibility of professor lies. Where the professor responsibility is, because through the new approach that can be introduced into the curricula, that's where we improve curricula on the good way. Otherwise, if we stay in our comfort zone continuously, then we have a bad program, bad curricula, and the students are not satisfied.
And reflecting on that, I was also thinking about, the personal responsibility of, growing yourself. So,
yes. So that's very important.
In relation to this, I have to say that nursing education and research in nursing usually don't educate nurses to innovate. We don't. Despite the fact that the nursing workforce is an essential component of the healthcare system and healthcare innovation. So we have not to change completely the curriculum of nursing, but to innovate the curriculum, to identify the gaps that we have in this curriculum in the perspective of society that is changing, the need for help that the society have, how this component for need is changing in the framework in different backgrounds, in socio-economical aspect of countries, create new approaches and find solution. How we can take this solution, test this solution, and after that value this analysis and implement and make a translation of them in our curriculum that will give us the possibility to translate as well in practice in our students as future professionals.
For example, surgery nursing is surgery nursing, but it depends on focus, yes? Because new techniques come in or new equipments come in. So
new materials and everything. So it's really interesting.
It should change.
But at the same time, also new dilemmas and ethical challenges are coming in. I myself teach palliative at the school, and sometimes we kind of not collide, but the challenges with surgery. Should we operate on that patient? And these kind of ethical questions raised.
We have to find new methods of providing care, items, services, or concepts in the field of healthcare that offers definite advantages that are better than them that we use normally. So we have to find these important innovative aspects and introduce them into the curriculum of nursing, and after that to apply into practice.
And this nicely leads me into my next question as to asking you, where do you gather these kind of innovative approaches? Where do you find these new skills, new techniques? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah, but basically I think it's sharing of experience and knowledge. For example, organizing events like this, even if this is not focus events with a topic like nursing in that and that, or the technical procedure in that, but sharing the experience and knowledge in this is very important for all the professors, teachers, lecturers involved in the process. For example, this morning I learned something from your lecture in a palliative care, and I hope so you learned something from my lecture. So these are the approaches where we can share, gain, and improve it into the curricula. It's very, very, very good way to do it.
Yeah, it's a possibility to learn, to have a chance, to learn from each other experience.
Yes.
Yes, I think that for the innovation, we take inspiration from everything. I totally agree with the colleagues. Because we take the inspiration with everyday teaching in our families, in workplace, in the community. And also we have to encourage innovation among our students, and especially we have to encourage innovative behaviors, especially among undergraduate students and the professionals. Because I think that every nurse is an agent of change and innovation, but we have to encourage and to give them the motivation that they take out this part of them. And also I think that the research in nursing is very inspirative for innovation and taking new ideas, especially in the implementation research in the field of nursing. I think that for countries, such middle-income countries, it is a big gap, so we have to work a lot on it, especially in creation of new models, not only to be focused in operational research, but also in applied and implementation research, because it helps a lot to identify the needs and the barriers that are part of or influence the development of nursing profession.
And also, if I may add as well, something that I was also thinking about is that sometimes our students can also teach us and inspire us so much.
Of course.
Always bring in new problems, new situations, new experiences. So that's also very nice. Moving on to internships. So the EU directive stipulates sets the amount of the internship required, and the minimum is 30 EAP. Which is, quite a large number of hours. What do you think about this? Do you think this is a reasonable number? Could it be less, maybe more? What do you think about hours?
In Estonia, it'd be 90 credit points, all the 3.5 years. Maybe it's enough, maybe not. I'm not telling you it's right or not, because we should follow the feedback from students. Yeah, we prepare, for example, with simulation and prepare for the real life, but they can tell us, no, it's not enough for me to be in intensive care nurse, for example, or no, it would be it's not necessary to be in 2 months in whatever nursery somewhere. Yeah, so feedback from students, it's one point who is guiding us, I think.
Yeah, I think everything what we limited with the number of hours. I'm looking the number of hours as a guide, as some frame within what we needed to do. Our study program of nursing is 4 years based on our law and everything. It lasts for 4 years, and we really have something similar internship hours like you, but it's a little bit differently oriented. For example, if the students are learning surgery nursing, then they go that day in the hospital to have at least 5 hours on the practical placement of surgery nursing, and then after each year they have internship which they spend in the medical institution. Based on which year they are having specific learning outcomes. So I think again there is a lot of factors which influence the internship amount. I think the hours are quite fine or the low. The quality is important. For example, we every year take into now I'm already answering some future questions. We take the reports from the students about their quality of internship, about their quality of program and everything. And then we make an evaluation and improvement. And for example, changing hours, because then also depending on the staff that you have that are mentors in the internship in the hospital, that's also continuous work of training of trainers and staff. So it's a really complex thing. And I think if we limited that and say they can have just 35 or 40 hours or minimum 30, I think it's not good to limit it. I think there should be some guidelines like this, which is okay. It's a large number of hours, but again, it's very achievable. But again, schools can achieve that on the best possible way, which is suitable for them. So there is a beauty of the directive. So I think it's okay, and the number of hours shouldn't be either the bigger or it can be bigger. It can be bigger if the school directive says if you want to have it bigger number of hours for this, you can do it because your students should achieve this learning outcome. But if not, then I think it's okay. That's my personal view. But the content and the factors that influencing the quality of internship, that students can achieve something in that amount of hours should be taken into account, not just the number of the hours.
Yes, I totally agree. The hours are okay as workload of the program. In Albania, the nursing program has a duration, the bachelor nursing program of 3 years. And also we have made a reorganization in the framework of EU guidelines to introduce the 30 hours of practical training. But I think that it depends a lot of the quality that the students of teaching and the practical time that they had in a hospital environment. Because if they have benefits is the qualitative, that time is enough, these hours is enough. But I think that there are different factors that influence them: the environment, the human resources, and the infrastructure resources. So as hours is okay, but we have also to take into account the other factors that can influence the qualitative of these training hours into the curriculum of nursing.
Mm-hmm. Also, going back to something that we were speaking earlier, simulation was mentioned. I would like to ask, what is your experience in your particular colleges with simulation, and what are your feelings on simulation? Do you think it's an important part, or should we focus more?
I think it's in some point replace the practical, or give some thoughts of real life. Prepare for real life. And I think also the simulation, it depends. Depends scenario, depends in the focus. What do you want to really outcomes and evaluation as well, and the real structure of simulation. We could do any kind of simulation, but the structure is important. I mean, briefing, simulation, as this scenario, debriefing, the feedback, all students, and I'm as a teacher. I always be flexible. I evaluate myself, the group I have, what the weakest part of the group, what's the strongest part of the group, and then I can change the scenario just like that, because I think it's more valuable if I do it like they not want it to be, but they need it. Yes, it's my opinion. It's prepare for real. Yeah, let's say for real.
I think also that simulations are nowadays playing a huge role in the education, especially because first they are relieving the pressure that we are putting to the medical institutions, sending the students for teaching, because they can learn a lot of different type of scenarios and different type of the products and everything, and they can repeat it as much time as they want until they practice it good, so that they are minimizing the errors that they can have in the real life. Again, it cannot replace the real internship or the real practice, but it's a very strong tool that should be involved in everyday education and be used for the best improvement of our students, because like colleague says, debriefing scenarios are very powerful tools, and the students are preparing, teaching, and if they take it very seriously, entering that process, it's very good. So then we are trying to minimize the errors that could happen later on. And also what's happening then with these scenarios, you can create scenarios that what you like and what you need. For example, and in a hospital you said there is no patient with that specific problem that you need. So that's the beauty of the simulations in the process. I think they are very important and should be included in every day. In our school, they are basically included as much as we can. Of course, it's still on some limited, because we still don't have the big simulation centers, for example, like in Tallinn, but we have a very good training centers where students have a simulations lab and stuff like this, where they can practice a lot of things before they enter the real life problems.
Yes, I am a fan of simulation education in nursing. Currently, we are at the beginning in our institution. We have set up a small simulation center with some mannequins, but I think that it is a big advantage gives a big advantage in nursing education, because it gives the student the possibility to control and eliminate the human factors that are related with mistakes in workplace. Because the simulation education gives the students the capacity and the ability for safe interaction between people's, technology and organization to unpredict situations and to achieve stability in safe environments. So I think that is very important and should to be part of our curriculum in everyday teaching methodology. But also I have to say that we have made a short survey in our country at an international level about the simulation education and the need to introduce it in nursing curriculum, and we found that most of educational staff has a lot of gap in relation to simulation education, in relation to methodologies. And so we have first to train our staff and after that to train and to teach to our students. So I think that is very important in this aspect to establish, if you want to establish simulation centers, such as the center that you have here in Tallinn is the best example of simulation education, is fundamental for us to create a curriculum for education simulation of the nursing staff that is engaged in teaching and education, and to share the best practices at the international level for training and the use of simulation education in education is the gold standard if you want to create a qualitative and competitive nursing curriculum.
In conclusion, if you are trained, if you have trained instructor, you don't need actually simulation center.
Yeah.
You should do on stairs wherever you want on the field. The simulation. Yes, right.
Then we are coming back to our first thing.
Yes.
That, individual response and the training of trainers is much very important thing.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
So, speaking about this, like training of trainers and, like developing curricula, how much research and what kind do you how much time, for example, do you spend in actually, or how much time should be spent on actually developing, apart from curricula, developing trainers, for example? How much research or...
It's hard to develop a trainer based on the curricula. For example, what we do in our school, we are trying to get a feedback from two sides, one from the students, one from the people involved. Basically, we have these regular meetings with our staff that are working in a hospital or the training centers and everything. But the more important is this student response to the quality of curricula. And for example, we develop a procedure in our school that last week of semester, before the exams, last week of the semester, students are obliged, of course it's an anonymous type, to evaluate the teaching process. And during that evaluation of teaching process, they can give their opinion, what's good, what's bad, what can be involved into the improvement of curricula, what they feel that they need more. And then we really take a serious evaluation and analysis of these answers, and then we try then to speak with the teachers, with the trainers, and to improve curricula in that process. That's something but we also try together, we continue a lot of qualitative research with the alumni, which is very important because then we speak with them, okay, are the skills that you learn, are everything, what do you think you need more in a school and stuff like this. So this is something what is also important.
In relation to research, especially we use the researchers' approach for the development of nursing in Master of Science nursing program. That students have the capacity in each module to make an independent research in an independent topic. They choose from the everyday practice in a hospital-based settings, and also after the research, the qualitative research is basically qualitative research, we can use these results to improve also the methodology of teaching and to introduce new models of care that are needed in everyday practice. Also, we give the possibilities of students to participate in national and international events when they can present their research findings. And also in this way we give them the possibility to build them self-esteem and self-confidence.
Thank you. Practically my last two questions we already have touched upon, and because I was going to ask you about feedback. And how you gather this feedback, and it's also very interesting that research feedback is now becoming also research. So that's a very interesting point that came out. Unfortunately, the time is up, and it's time to start closing down. I would like to thank you all for this very interesting session. Thank you, Mirza Oruc, from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you, Fatjona Kamberi from Albania, Vlora University. And thank you, Siiri Maasen from Tallinn Healthcare College.
Thank you. It was interesting discussion.
Yes, thank you very much for giving us the possibility to share different experiences in nursing education.
Thank you, everyone. That's it for today. I'm Cassar, your host, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.